I work for Junior Achievement. Are any of you familiar with Junior Achievement, JA? All right, well, now you will be. Junior Achievement, we provide financial literacy programs for area schools. We are a national/international organization, and I didn't have JA when I was growing up, but I kind of knew about it sort of in the high school. They did things like job shadows and stuff like that. What we do now is we go K through 12, and we have kits that we go into the classrooms and we teach age-specific children these business concepts, how to save money, the importance of spending wisely, the difference between wants and needs, how we interact with our community and our city. And so we're going to do a little exercise. This is right out of the little guidebook that comes with it, okay? Because if you can teach, you can, if you can read, you can teach. Third grade was the first one that I did. I do not have a teaching background whatsoever. I've taught probably in the 3 years that I've been with JA about 50 classes K through 12, and I've survived. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I will tell you that these guys take a fairly minimal amount of time. For elementary, it's about an hour for 5 sessions. And those sessions can be whatever you and your teacher work out. They can be every day for a week if you like, if that works with you and your teacher's schedule. Usually people go in once a week and that type of thing. And depending on the semester, I have some classes for fall right now that it's a little bit of a challenge because I do need to complete them before Christmas break. But again, we still have plenty of time, and sometimes people double up and they'll do like 2 sessions in a week or go 2.5 weeks or things like that. So the first thing we do is once I introduce myself, I'm a volunteer from the community, my background, and then we get right into the activities. And as you can see, I'm going to hold my guidebook, okay? Because this is how I teach, because I don't have a teaching background like you all are getting. And so we talk about different types of vocabulary terms. So we talk about being a volunteer and what that means. And then we talk about the zones that are in our city, okay? So the kids get really excited. It's very interactive. There's lots and lots of hands-on activities. We're not talking long in front of the kids. We're introducing certain vocabulary terms, and then we're going right into the hands-on activities. So a zone is an area set aside for a city for certain purposes, such as housing, businesses, and schools. And you will see by the different colors there that are in the lower left-hand corner that they're broken into 5 different zones. There's farming, residential, industrial, business, and multi-purpose. And I'm going to speak fairly quickly because I know some of you have to leave, and I want you at least to be able to do one activity. So there will be no fighting over the buildings, okay? Size does not matter. But with your building, go ahead and see, once I explain how to put them together, because again, keep in mind these are 3rd graders, how they go together is they pop up like this, okay? You are all in college. You are all very, very smart. Sometimes you have to help the little guys with this, or sometimes there are other kids who are a little more adept at putting together boxes, and so they help the other little ones. And now, based on what farming, residential, industrial, or business, or multi-purpose, where do you think your buildings will go? This is actually one of the activities that we do with the kids, okay? See, you're much more random. The kids are always like, I have to put it in the perfect spot, okay? And what's very cool is before their eyes, the kids get to see a city develop. And they ooh and ah, and they gather around, and they're like, this is so cool. And then they get to take it home, they get to color it, put their names on it, and that type of thing. And we use this, we refer back to this throughout the sessions, because the big thing is that we want the kids to know what happens in these different types of zones. I think I think I lost a little grain one, but we do talk about the farming and things like that, and then the little airport guy, they're kind of lonely because they're all by themselves, but between them, they learn, again, how the city interacts and the importance of everything there. Is there not one zone there that we don't need? No. Okay? So we all interact together. So that is one session that we do. I'm sorry? Yeah, we'll put that in the multi-purpose. Okay, we can go with that. It's like I thought I had a feed and seed. All right, and then another one we talk about, because again, junior achievement is all about making sure that kids are financially literate in business principles, but also part of that is exposing them to different types of career opportunities that will be available to them. And one of those is construction workers, or in this particular instance, there's construction, there are city planners we talk about architects and all sorts of things, because, you know, what does it take to make our city? Okay? So then when we do this, we actually give them a blueprint to work on. And I think I got two, if you can pass it down. Everybody got one of those? And you get your own to keep snazzy little ruler. All right? And we work on the metric and the standard measurement. And the metric still throws me. I grew up in an age where we just started that. So I always cheat. I write all my answers down on my sheets beforehand, and then I reference them so I don't freeze in front of a bunch of kids, because that would be the worst thing. All right? So one of our exercises would be to measure between C and D, and we're on the inch side. Okay? So using your measure stick, you want to measure between C and D. Yep. And then I would ask the class, you know, how long is that? Okay, it's 2 inches, all right? So then we start working with scale, and there's another exercise where they're graphing out their room, and we introduce the little squares as 1 square equals 1 foot, and we start introducing those kids to that type of thing of measurement, okay? Excuse me, so we'll measure the door and things like that. Some kids, depending on the school, depending on the teacher, have gone over some of that. Some of them may just be starting. Some of them may not have it yet, and so then they struggle a little bit more. But the teacher, the beauty with that is the teacher stays in the classroom with you at all time, okay? Michigan State law is a certified teacher needs to stay in the classroom, cannot leave you alone, and I'm going to do everything I can to protect both my volunteers and my kids anyway, so I don't want them to be alone, okay? So being a JA volunteer is kind of like being that favorite aunt or uncle. You go in, you have fun with the kids, you get them all excited, you get them all worked up, and then you leave, okay? And then you let the teacher settle them down and that type of thing. Now, if there's any classroom management, I have no problem with managing my class, because when I'm in that class, they are my kids, okay? So if I get Johnny worked up and you know, the little group's worked up and I can't get them to settle down, I will ask the teacher, hey, Mrs. So-and-so, can I get a little help here? And usually they're fine and they pop right in. Or sometimes, depending on the teachers, they're already interacting with the kids. Just depends on the teacher. I don't care if they're playing Facebook in the back, or a lot of them do their planning or things like that. I just need their physical bodies in that classroom, okay? Because if I do need to, I don't want to be the bad guy. I want to be the cool person. And when I walk in, and it's not just me, it's every volunteer. I just was at a training earlier today, and they heard the same thing, is when we walk into a classroom and these kids know what's coming, I mean, literally, you feel like a rock star. They stop and they go, oh, JA's here. Because they have so much fun doing these activities, okay? And then another one that we do, and in the interest of time, I won't pass it out unless you're all very excited about doing this, but we talk about, again, the different types of businesses that are in a community, and one of those are restaurants, okay? So there's a group activity. All the activities are group-based, and they're broken down into different groups, and sometimes I will just assign, but often the teacher will know who works best with each other, and then she helps me do that, she or he. And then based on their zone, they have to determine where they want their restaurant to be, what they want to serve in it, and who they're going to hire. Okay? Yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. And so they work together as a group. Sometimes there's great weeping and gnashing of teeth if they can't come to a consensus. But it's a great opportunity to explain all sorts of things, entrepreneurship, to these kids. You know, and I had one little guy say, You know, I said, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I want to work at McDonald's. I said, okay, that's a good starting point. It's great entry level skills and stuff like that. I did my route in fast food. But I said, but let's step it up a little bit. Not only are you going to work for McDonald's, maybe you're going to own a franchise there. Maybe you're going to be the business owner someday. And this little guy looked at me and went, huh. And I could see him thinking, and I don't care whether it's kindergarten or 12th grade, I start implanting, one, the importance of education, finish high school, go on to some type of learning, higher education, you know, certainly college and university, and certainly that would apply in your case, but the reality is that isn't for everybody. And so I also recommend, you know, the military and trade school and things like that, because basically what our kids now need to know is they can't stop. They need to do well in school, and then they need to go on to some form of higher education. Because, you know, there's study upon study that says there's a direct correlation between education and salary. And whether my little guy ends up owning his own franchise or he becomes CEO of McDonald's corporate, I don't care. I just want that person to recognize that they have the ability to become successful given hard work and education. I don't care who the kid is. I don't care what their socioeconomic background is. Obviously, I care, but a lot of kids these days are struggling with things that I've never had to deal with, and you know, I don't even understand sometimes, okay? But I never, ever, ever want to sell any child short, and it doesn't matter their age. And I want every child in this community to understand that their own success is based on what they do and what they produce and their education. And so this is one session, or this is one program that we do. And again, we have K through 12. Usually most of my volunteers go into the elementary because it is kind of fun. When you get into middle school, high school, you might not get quite the rock star status, you know, but think back when you were in high school. I've actually, for a variety of reasons, our high school programs have exploded in this area. And so I've been teaching a little bit more those programs because I've not been able to recruit volunteers to do that. It is just a little more intimidating, but it's still really fun, you know, and it's kind of sad when I'm teaching a personal finance class and how to do a simple budget, how to do basic management of my expenses versus my income. And I have a high school student come up to me afterwards and say, this is important information to know. I'm like, well, that's great. You know, I love hearing that you think it's relevant. But then in the next breath, that student looks at me and says, I need to go tell my parents this. Okay? That's the reality in which we're working with now, is that most people, doesn't matter their age, do not understand how to manage their finances. And so in kindergarten, we're teaching kids about how to do coin recognition. And we give them a little pop-up bank that they take home and talk about the importance of saving and talk about the importance of earning money, doing something, chores or an actual job, to get money to pay for things and to put some aside for savings. And in the first grade, we talk about our families, and we talk about how we're all interconnected in our families. We all have roles to do. We all have responsibilities. And the difference between wants and needs. And they start recognizing, there's an exercise where they start talking about symbols and you know, keys and maps and how to read that and where buildings are and things like that. Second grade talks about our community, okay, how we're all interrelated. And there's a little voting exercise. They do an exercise with little donut stickers, and they have to kind of assemble them. And we talk about unit and assembly line production. Okay, this is second grade. Basically, it's teaching them the difference between working as alone or working as a team. And it's a really fun activity. And it's just a hoot to see all these kids trying to assemble all of these little donuts together. And then in the third grade, we will talk about our city. And then fourth grade, we talk about our region. Okay, we're all interconnected. We need to have the other states in the United States working with us, trading with us, you know, exporting, importing, even within our own state. We talk about human capital and natural resources. And then in fifth grade, we start introducing actual jobs. And that's kind of an underlying theme throughout, but we really focus it more on fifth grade because in the elementaries, that's where career preparation is actually starting. And so there's a game where the kids it's kind of like rummy. And so the kids match up different job cards, okay? And then, there's lots of stuff online that the teachers can, or the students when they get older, can go online and check out, okay, well, if I really like being with people, if I like talking in the public, if I like having all the attention, on me, or being that front stage person, what kind of career would that be? Well, maybe it's going to be in something in communications. Well, that's great. And then it drills down even further. And that's what these job cards do. They start recognizing, they actually do a little resume. Okay, so they recognize there's a little activity where they're figuring out their skills, their values, their interests, and how that may relate to a job. Because the worst thing in the world is to get into a job that you hate for the rest of your life. And so there's lots of, and again, we explain, there's lots of jobs that you may have to have. I've worked retail, I worked fast food, was thankful of the income at the time. That's not what I wanted to do with my life. If I had to do it again, I would, because I'm going to do whatever I have to in order to pay my bills, but that's not my chosen career. Okay? So that's pretty much it. When you decide to volunteer, the first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have a grade preference? Normally I would ask, do you have a geographic preference, so I can see what schools are available, but right now I'm actually recruiting for the fall. I have 2 schools primarily that I'm looking for. They're both GRPS. One is Shawmut Hills, which is on the way to Standale off of Lake Michigan Drive if you're by the Covenant Village. So it's in that area. There's about 3, maybe 4 classes left there. These are all elementary. And then I have several fall classes, elementary, at Southwest Community College, Southwest Community Campus, and that is a bilingual school. And I taught out there last year, a 5th grade class, and so most of the kids are bilingual in Spanish and English, which I think is a huge skill. And, it was really fun to be in the class teaching that. I got to practice my very limited Spanish even more. And so, and the kids just thought that was cool. And again, it's that one-on-one relationship. You're not in there long, but you are making a positive impact on these kids. Just by your very presence, you're telling these kids, yeah, I care. Because you're taking time out of your day, out of your school. I mean, I don't know of anybody more busier than a college student who's working 2 jobs, who's trying to get their college done, and then is also at least exploring the possibility of doing some volunteer work. I have to commend you for that. At that point in my life, there's no way I would have done that. Different generation, volunteerism wasn't quite as important in my generation's eyes at that time. And so I have to commend all of you just for even being here today to explore it, because it's very cool. Our community, Grand Rapids, is only going to be as strong as our kids who are in grade school now coming out. And you have the opportunity to make a huge impact on these kids. Whether it's long-term because you're going to go into teaching on a full-time basis, or it's just a real short little snippet where you are just in there for a short time, and then you're out. One of the cool things when we do Miranda Park parties throughout the summer, or different types of activities in the community, is once in a while I have a little guy, little gal come running up and go, oh, "You were my JA teacher," and that is so cool. That is so cool. I had one little 6th grader at a school that, she gave me fits, and tiny little thing, and she tried to pick a fight with every tall kid that was in that class. I mean, she came into that class with attitude. She left with attitude. And I tried and tried and tried, and I thought, well, I've done my best. I can't, she's just not engaging. You can only do so much. I was at the Wyoming Park Party a couple years ago, and we just get mobbed there. And so we're passing out things fast and furious, and I'm with some of my other staff, and all of a sudden, from behind, I get grabbed. I'm like, what in the world? And it was this little girl, and she was just hugging me and introducing me to her family that she brought with her, saying, this was my JA lady. This was my JA teacher. And I thought, how cool is that? I did not think I'd made any impact whatsoever. She gave me nothing but fits. But I still treated her respectfully. I still showed her that I was engaged with her, whether she was engaged or not. I still cared about her. I still cared about her future. And for some reason it connected and she, it made an impact. It's not just me. I hear this from students all the time, or from volunteers all the time. I have a volunteer, young guy, who called me out of the blue and said, I want to volunteer for JA, young professional. I said, oh, that's great, thanks, I appreciate it. And we do a lot of recruitment or a lot of community exposure, so I don't know where he'd heard from it. So I said, oh, did you attend something, or how did you, I know your business is involved, was there some sort of internal recruitment? He said, no. He said, but I had JA when I was a kid. And he said, in fact, now that I think about it, he was, my JA volunteer did something similar to what I'm doing now. And he says, now that I think about it, maybe that's why I went into what I did. That's pretty cool. He doesn't know. He doesn't barely remember the person. But he remembers the impact on that. And so this is a great opportunity for you as future student or as future teachers to get in the classroom. I had Mrs. Siegel, a couple of her students a couple years ago. One young man really wanted middle school, and I said, well, I can try. So I got him into the middle school class, and he finished it. He did great, but he's like, yeah, I don't think I want middle school as a career. I think I'd rather go a little lower. And, what an incredible opportunity to get that exposure now. I mean, again, I have middle, not so much this semester. This semester I have elementary classes. But throughout the year, I have elementary, middle, and high school classes available. And, if you want to go into a high school, you would be more than welcome. I have a whole bunch of it. But thank you for coming. Those have a little bit more rigid schedule because middle school as well, because of the time frames that are being asked for those business teachers. So that might be a little bit more of a challenge. But the elementary is, I have lots and lots, and if it doesn't work out for you for this semester, then Mrs. Siegel knows how to contact me. I apologize, I've run out of cards. Or you can just leave me your name and number, and I don't do a real hard push. If you tell me you're interested next semester, great. I'll shoot you an email and say, hey, I met you. Are you interested? If so, I can, give me an idea what type of school you want or grade or that type of thing, and we'll go from there. Or if, and then you say, hey, what, my schedule's changed, no problem. Maybe I'll connect with you next year, okay? Because the whole point of you getting into the classroom is to have fun with the kids and to build those relationships even on a short-time basis. So, if you're forced to do it, you're not going to do it well. You're not going to be prepared when you go into the classroom. The kids are going to sense that. And so there's no point, But if you want to get in and really make a positive difference for kids, even on a short-term basis, and frankly, feel like a rock star yourself when you walk out of there, then give JA a try. It's very, very cool. The kits are inclusive, okay? It has the guidebooks, and you're welcome to pass these around, but if you can read, you can teach. And it has everything laid out. There's 2 of them in case the teacher, wants to follow along. Most of my teachers have been doing JA for a while, so it's not that big of a deal for them. And then it has, the master list of materials. It has the activities. You're not talking to the kids long, okay? You're introducing the terms. You're going right into the hands-on activity, and then you're out. I mean, K through 2nd is only a half an hour, so it's really fast. You're really on schedule. And then the 3 through 5 is 45 minutes. I usually plan on about an hour because I usually get the kids all kind of worked up, and then you have to, wrangle them back in and do a little summary, and you're out the door. So that's it. For those of you who came a little later, I appreciate you coming, and I'll be happy to cycle back and catch you up. Any questions at this point? Absolutely. Sure. And for those who need to go, you are more than welcome to. But I can't, and I apologize. Tricia, I might leave you with a few extra because I meant to give souvenirs to those who came, but they scooted out. These are actually, I think K through 4 has this. When you're in 5th grade, you're just too big to get them anymore, much to the 5th graders' great consternation. But these are little magnets, and they're actually pretty cool. The kids, you would think you've given them like $1,000. They get so excited about this. And what it is it's our little propaganda that tells them that they take home that their parents have, can see the JAs being taught in the classroom. But this becomes a little magnet for their school picture, and this is for their little JA pictures. There are kids who are like, oh, I need one more for my collection. They get pretty excited about this stuff. And again, most of this stuff they get to take home, okay? Like I said, they get to take home the buildings, they get to take home the blueprints and the rulers, and in the other classes we have all sorts of things. Okay, so this group gets these right now because they have completed their exercise. This group is going to have to come in and do an exercise first. There are no freebies without doing at least an exercise. Any questions? Yeah, and it doesn't hurt. You've all survived, right? Okay. All right.